We have an interesting topic to present to you, which is globalization. But we're going to narrow our discussions to the impacts of globalization. And before I move further, I would like to introduce our guest speakers today. With me in the studio, I have Lily. A round of applause for her. I also have Chan. A round of applause. Lily is an associate professor in University of Oxford, UK, and Chan is the regional director of Coca-Cola Southeast Asia. Without wasting much of our time, we would like to proceed with today's topic. I'll give a brief rundown of today's presentation. First of all, we are going to talk about the impacts of globalization on jobs and wages, and secondly, the impacts on labor and environmental regulations, and thirdly, globalization and income inequality, and if time permits, we're going to talk about globalization and national sovereignty. First, I would like to talk about the effects of globalization on jobs and wages. Lily, what do you think about the wealth and efficiency in both developed and developing nations?
Well, economy believes that globalization has increased the wealth and efficiency around the world. So openness to international trade allow the business to become more efficient and create job opportunities to their country.
That's cool. I can see you speak from the academic point of view. Over to you, Chan. What about the labor market flexibility when it relates to globalization?
Well, globalization generates labor market flexibility. We employ experts from different countries all over the world, and they have high mobility working from one continent to the other because of globalization.
That's good. Based on your experience, what are the impacts of globalization on jobs opportunities in developing and developed nations?
Globalization has increased the job opportunities in developing nations and further advances their economies. Look, there is one simple principle in business. We pursue maximum output by using minimum input. And developing nations such as India provide professional business functions with relative low cost compared to developed nations. For instance, the salary of an engineer in Bombay, India is 15 times cheaper than of an engineer in California. Therefore, more and more firms are involving in international outsourcing activities. And this kind of outsourcing activities actually has increased the job opportunities in those developing nations, enhance their living standards, and so advance their economies.
In summary, it's evident that globalization increases wealth and efficiency and generates labor market flexibility in jobs and developed nations and advances developing nations' economies. Irrespective of job opportunities in developed and developing nations, what about the labor standards in various
Many people they have the perception that only the developing nations get the benefits from outsourcing. Indeed, the developed nations they also get the outsourcing from international outsourcing as well. Maybe you may imagine for this scenario, a small firm in New Jersey they only have the 5 employees in several years ago. Then the owner he want to expand the market, so he flew into the Bombay, India, to hire a low wage but highly skilled employee. And this action gives his firm a cost advantage over the rivals, where the firm is able to cut the cost to his employee while offering a specialized service to their customer. Actually, this customer is a claim power, which is owned by the Tadani. And this action is actually give that globalization can increase the wealth and efficiency, and besides that, through the international outsourcing to developed and developing nations.